Weather's getting better. Time to talk some tennis. ODU men's tennis with head coach Dominic Mueller. Coach, I know you've been a little under the weather. How you feeling?
I'm better. Thanks for asking.
Nothing like having a cold in the springtime when it warms up. You know what I mean? Ugh.
Oh, I wish it was just a cold, but yes, you're right about that.
Yeah, a little pneumonia for Coach, but he's recovering, and that is good. Your team had a nice effort against Temple last time out, a 6-1 win over the Owls. Tell me about the play that you saw that day.
That was a great day. You know, we now got a couple matches under our belt outdoors, and Temple is always a dangerous team. Every year they are knocking on the door of being nationally ranked, top 75. Every year they upset a pretty good team, so they're always dangerous. So I was pretty pleased by handling them 6-1 in the fashion that we did.
I think we talk about it a lot, but I think it's worth revisiting. The shift from indoors to outdoors really changes a lot of stuff in the game, doesn't it?
It does. I think to a degree it's mental, yeah, but obviously the elements are different. Yeah, I mean, now there's wind, there's sun. If there's no clouds in the sky and you have a really like a blue sky, overheads become really tough. You know, you have no background to really judge how the ball is coming down and the speed. And I think most of the courts outdoors are surface slower. So in general, outdoor tennis is slower. So yes, I mean, there are a lot of aspects to it that you got to get used to a little bit.
Coach, teach us a little bit here. When we're serving with the sun, are there any tricks or things you can do not to look up into the ball of fire and then hit your serve into next week? I mean, how do you do
that? With the sun, the sun is a tricky thing. I think the wind, yes, there's some, but with the sun, it's tricky because, you can move it and you can move the court. You can really move your position. Sometimes, honestly, there's a huge difference if you're a righty or lefty. Sometimes the sun is at a certain spot and righties are bothered, lefties are not, or vice versa. I think the biggest thing you can do is really wear a hat. And on the serve, maybe when you use your left hand to throw up the ball and get in that ready position, maybe use your hand a little bit to cover the sun, but that's pretty much the best you can do.
Which is easier to play in, with the wind at your back or hitting into the wind?
That's a great question. Yeah, we debate that a lot with the team. I think if you ask the majority of tennis players, it's against the wind because you can swing. You can swing freely. You can really go for it. It's really hard. It depends on how hard the wind is blowing, but in general, it's hard to miss deep. So you can really go for it and don't think as much. When the wind is in your back, and you don't really finish the stroke, the wind takes the ball and you miss a lot of deep, and then guys get tentative and start even more. So, I think there are some guys that prefer the wind in the back because you're also if you handle it and you make the ball, you're getting some extra miles on the ball and you can put your opponent under defense. But in general, I think most tennis players prefer playing against the wind, as weird as that sounds.
The Monarchs are off until April the 3rd, a week from Saturday, when you travel to Charlotte to take on the 49ers, meaning extra practice time between now and then. What do you find to be the most effective practice drill for your guys?
It's a great question because we said that last week, this week, and next week that I told the guys these are going to be the 3 most important weeks in our season to really we have a little break here that was designed in our schedule to make a push for April to get in shape. So we have done way more conditioning, we have done way more ball hitting drills, really a lot of repetition, get the guys a good rhythm, feel good, essentially rebuilding the base. I told them if we build a base and you feel like you can't miss the ball, then it goes from there. Then your forehand winner goes a little easier, and everything goes a little easier if you have your foundation. So essentially, for this last week, this week, and next week, we're really refocusing on our foundation and doing a lot of conditioning.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of doubles teams on the Monarchs that are getting some national exposure. Talk about the guys that are now ranked nationally.
Yeah, you would have thought that, right? Early in the season, we were actually struggling with doubles, and we figured it out. I mean, on top of my head, I would say we maybe won 7 out of 8 doubles points lately, and the guys have done great. Excuse me. I think it comes down to chemistry. I think both teams, they like each other. They complement each other. Obviously, the ranking shows it. They're having a tremendous season. I mean, Luca and Nico already played last year with each other and were ranked last year. So I don't think that's too much of a surprise. They were around 20 and 30 last year. They were preseason ranked 25 or 26. Now they're 25. towards the end of the season. So I think they're establishing themselves as an elite college team. And it's great to see with Yannick and Eunice. They had a great run. With doubles, it's such a short format. We're only playing to 6. It's certain dynamics. It's, as I said, it's a lot about dynamics, a lot about chemistry. And I think right now we found some teams where it just clicks.
In terms of chemistry, I know when I had my best doubles days back in the day, I was playing with a good friend of mine, and our games kind of matched up as well. He was a lefty, I was a righty, and so. Do you look for personal chemistry to then go with tennis chemistry, or tennis chemistry that they get to know each other and they start liking each other?
Usually when I start the year, I look for tennis chemistry. Little things like who's preferring to return from what side. And usually I'm not trying to pair up guys that both want to return from the same side. As you said, complementary tool set. Yeah. You either want to, I personally think you either want to play 2 guys that have the exact same tool set or guys that complement each other. But yeah, the more you get into the season, it does not work if the chemistry between the 2 guys doesn't work. Yeah, you can have a perfect tennis match, but if there's no chemistry between those 2 guys, it just doesn't work. Vice versa, it does sometimes works. It sometimes does work if there's just great chemistry between 2 guys and the tennis chemistry is maybe not perfect. That works. So at the end of the day, I think personal chemistry and double, especially in college, because it's such a short format, it's a little more important than tennis chemistry, in my opinion.
It seems that singles guys or gals are much more willing to play doubles than back in the day when they wanted to focus all their attention just on singles. Do you notice that trend as well?
Well, I think a lot of things have happened. I think let's go in a college setup. Doubles is fun. As I said, it's a short format. There's a lot of energy. I mean, 6 guys on one team, 6 guys on the other, screaming and yelling, all compressed on 3 courts. So I think everybody wants to play doubles just because it's fun. If you now go on the pro circuit, I think you see more and more people playing doubles because of the pandemic. Yeah, I think there's less playing opportunities. So people are just excited as like, if I have the chance to play a tournament, I want to play singles and doubles. Again, since we're talking about the pros, they need the prize money too. So I think the pandemic has encouraged more people on the pro tour to play more doubles as well.
I love it. The quote from this edition of Talking Tennis with Dominic Mueller: we'll play doubles because it's fun. It is fun. It's fast. It's rock'em sock'em robots, and it's a lot of fun. And it's a great way, I would think, Coach, to warm up before you get into the singles thing, to get a nice, solid, competitive warm up in.
No, absolutely. I mean, we talk about that a lot. If you just do the math, the doubles only counts 1 point. So what is that? 16 point something % of the dual match. So I'm always trying to not overemphasize it. I tell the guys, listen, I don't want to overemphasize it. And then if we lose the doubles point, believing we cannot win 4 singles, but obviously there's momentum. Yeah, if you win the doubles point and you get jacked up, it usually helps you the first 10, 15 minutes in singles.
Coach Dominic Mueller, we appreciate the time. Best of luck a week from Saturday when you travel to Charlotte to take on the 49ers, and keep that hot tea going.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dominic Mueller talking tennis, ODU men's tennis here on Monarch Media.